With all the misinformation that's out there these days on nutrition and health and wellness, I thought I'd take this moment to speak to you about some truisms regarding these topics to help you lead a more healthier life. And the first thing I want to bring your attention is organic does not necessarily mean healthier. Yeah, the rules for being organic are much more stringent than in other foods. You've got to plant in good soil. You can't use ionizing radiation or genetically modified seeds. However, if you go to the supermarket and you see on the packages, they'll say organic, look at the nutrition facts label of these products. In many instances, when I do this, I see organic foods that are high in saturated fat and also high in sodium. So when in doubt, look at the nutrition facts label to find out if it's right for you. Another truism to keep in the back of your mind is that natural sugars, the sugars that occur in foods naturally, they are okay. If you look on the nutrition facts labels for foods, now you're going to see a listing for added sugars. Added sugars are sugar that's added by the company to make the food taste better. And for adults, this is normally capped at about 50 grams a day. However, added sugars is not the same thing as naturally occurring sugars. The sugar that occurs in food naturally is often buffered with fiber, which slows the absorption of nutrients like sugar into the body and plays less of a role in increasing blood sugar levels. This is especially true for vegetables, which contain even fewer natural sugars than fruits do. Now, for the fitness people out there, one myth that is prevailing, and I see it all the time on social media and even in the gym, is the statement that muscle weighs more than fat. Muscle does not weigh more than fat. Think about it. A pound of muscle and a pound of fat, what weighs more? They weigh the same. This misconception probably arose because the density of muscle and fat are different. Muscle is denser than fat. In other words, it takes up less space. However, the weight of each is the same. For over a decade, I've been hearing the words superfood out there. There's no such thing as a superfood. Yeah, I would agree that fruits and vegetables and beans and seeds are very nutritious. However, let's put things in context. If you're stranded on a desert island, would you rather have broccoli or pizza? Obviously, you'd rather have pizza. So the idea of what a superfood is really has to be placed in the context of what we're talking about. All food is healthy, especially when consumed in moderation. Another truism I usually bring up in consultations with people is rule of thumb. If the food comes in a wrapper, it's probably high in saturated fat and sodium. So what kind of foods come in wrappers? Fast food. I was watching an old episode of Seinfeld recently and saw the episode where people were eating fat-free yogurt and he was still gaining weight. How did that happen? Well, fat-free does not mean calorie-free. It also doesn't mean sugar-free either. Again, when in doubt, check the nutrition facts label. And while you're in the supermarket and you're looking at canned foods, look again at the nutrition facts label for sodium. Don't look at the front of the label where they say it's low in sodium. I have seen low sodium foods that contain lots of sodium. How do you know if something's high in sodium or another nutrient? Easy. Look at those daily values that are on the right side of the nutrition facts label. If you see 20% or more next to a nutrient, it means it's high in that nutrient. I have seen foods that advertise to be low in sodium, and yet they have 25 or more percent of sodium. So don't fall for that scam. Something else about diets that I want to call your attention to is that every diet you can think of, the blood type diet, the zone diet, the Atkins diet, keto diet, Weight Watchers diet, they're all low in calories. This is the common denominator of every weight loss program I have ever seen. They get you to eat fewer calories by manipulating something, like maybe eat certain times of the day, like intermittent fasting or something like that. But at the end of the week, you've eaten fewer calories if you follow that eating program. So calories matter. Something else to realize, especially with dietary supplements, is that everything has side effects. Sometimes when I investigate dietary supplements and I look at the websites for these products, they'll say something like, when it comes to the side effects, we're not aware of any side effects, but not being aware of side effects does not mean side effects cannot occur. So what am I getting at here? If you take any medications and you're considering taking a dietary supplement, talk to your doctor and even talk to your pharmacist as well. Pharmacists usually are easier to get a hold of because you don't have to make a copay or an appointment. You can walk into a store sometimes and just say, hey, pharmacist, what do you think of this dietary supplement and the medications I'm taking? And in one of my previous videos, I interviewed a pharmacist who talked about how you can actually sit down with a pharmacist and they will go through all your medications and give you an idea of what you might need, what you might not need. I'll link to that video below. And another thing to keep in the back of your mind, especially in terms of the dietary supplements that are out there, is that when you see the word cleanse, think laxative. Cleanse means laxative. When I look at these cleanse dietary supplements that are all over the place, when I look at the ingredients of them, what do I see? I see things like fiber, like inulin and psyllium. And what do they make you do? They make you go to the bathroom. Sometimes also I see another ingredient called senna. Senna is a laxative. It makes you go to the bathroom. So when you see cleanse, think laxative. Why do they call it cleanse? It's a sexy new age name. There's nothing really sexy about laxatives. But cleanse gets people attention. So basically this is just marketing and you should be aware of it. And one more thing I would mention to you is that it's much easier to maintain being healthy than to regain lost health. So wherever you are in this journey of life as you're watching me today, start where you are, do what you can to maintain your health, and you will be much happier for it in the long run. For more honest, non-sponsored reviews, follow me here, and if you got any questions, leave them below.